Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Into the Breach. So a number of people wanted to see a team that was the same flying mech 3 times to get us mech specialist and flight specialist at the same time. And people were pretty divided about ice mech versus this guy, the jet mech, the flying smoke mech. And I do think that just like leapfrogging flying smoke mechs all over the place would probably be pretty cool. But I think we're going to have to bow to just like raw power here. Like, this is going to be a very silly squad. I expect that we're going to do extremely well here, and we're going to change up our time traveler. Lily, you've served us well. It is well past time for you to take a break. We're going to go Zoltan. And the reason for this is, if a freeze happens to something that is shielded, it doesn't get frozen. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 70% sure of that. So I think our dude here will basically never freeze himself. He'll be able to fire his gun without freezing himself. And there's no real danger from our mechs having 1 HP because they're constantly freezing themselves. Or we're not going to take any damage. We're going to be constantly freezing the mechs. It's not going to matter what their health is or anything. We're just going to overpower them constantly. And also, free reactor core is like completely bananas. So this is what we're doing. It seems like it's going to be a pretty easy game. That's my suspicion. To be perfectly honest with you, I have no idea whether we're going to need to do 3 islands. Thank you, Isabel. She's very reassuring. Let's give him a point of move, I guess. Everybody's got their cryo launcher loaded. I mean, this might be a 2-island victory. I'm not sure. So what do I think is going to be really easy? It is worth noting that there are certain missions we're not going to be able to do, like anything that says kill 7 Vec. So that's something to think about, I guess. Actually, we're going to have a heck of a time getting perfect islands. Maybe we're not going to get any perfect islands, because it's going to be kind of hard for us to kill Vec leaders. Oh well, we're doing it. We're still doing it. So the most difficult islands. Which ones are the most difficult islands? Honestly, maybe none of them are going to be all that difficult for us. Let's just start on Detritus. I think we're going to get the least value out of Detritus' gimmick. That's why I want to start here, obviously. Easier islands later. So, like, destroy the acid vats. This is tough for us. Kill 4 enemies inflicted with acid. Yeah, this is tough for us. We're not actually going to get a lot of corporate rep this way. It's still going to be fun. Let's do this thing. It's probably easier for us to trick the Vec into shooting the acid vats than it is for us to do the other thing. To try to kill 4 Vec, that seems like a tall order. So like here, we can just freeze ourselves to avoid all of the negative consequences of this. That's a shame. None of the spawners came up in relevant locations. So, I'm just gonna... Oh, I probably don't want to freeze this. We can freeze this mountain. I could freeze this building. Here we go. Boom, problem solved. We are out here solving problems. So we can freeze... We're gonna prefer to freeze Vec where possible, I think. Because, like, freezing this guy here not only stops the attack, but also protects this building from being attacked from that side ever again. And then, like, this guy doesn't really get to do anything. You can't even, like, freeze a useful tile. There are no tiles near him that are useful. Here, we're gonna make that ground really cold. It'll be unpleasant for the Vec to swim up from under it. I don't know, maybe this isn't going to be as awesome as I thought it was going to be. I hadn't really thought, like, I was thinking, okay, freezing all the time is super powerful. But I had not really thought about the fact that, we weren't going to be able to do any goals at all. Let's see, what's the best way to do this? Also, I was kind of hoping we were going to get to freeze ourselves on top of spawn points periodically. That really has not happened. The enemies are doing a really good job of never being in the same row or column as a spawner unless they're right next to it. So we can pretty easily just freeze these two buildings. We have to stop one of these, though, don't we? Right, because well, what's the attack order? Okay, so this guy will break the ice, and this guy will just do 1 damage. That's actually fine. In fact, we don't want to do the repair here, because the repair would kill him. So yeah, then we just freeze you. And you. And yeah, see, he doesn't freeze himself because of the shield. That's pretty good. We gotta find something better to put in the secondary slots so that we can actually fight enemies, probably. And it's gonna be tricky because we're gonna, not only are we not going to get a perfect island, but we're actually going to be short reputation too. I do appreciate these enemies like really hyper focusing on the mechs instead of on buildings, though. That helps me a lot. So see, we can just do this, and we never have to worry about upgrading weapons or anything, because it doesn't matter how tough the Vec are; they just freeze. Well, we're gonna get a power at least. That's something, right? We did it. What if we go through this whole timeline without killing a single Vec? Do you think that they will respond to the fact that we approached them in such a pacifist manner? Maybe they'll come around, be like, "Oh, you know what? Maybe we had it all wrong. These guys aren't so bad." I think it's basically guaranteed to work that way. That said, I'm definitely going to blow up some Vec with our disposal unit here. Here's the other problem with this strategy: it generates 0 XP, so we kind of need to step that up. Well, this was a pretty cunning formation, trying to make it awkward for me to destroy Vec without destroying buildings, or like... They're doing a good job of making it tricky. So how do I want to do this? We have just a little bit too little movement to be able to block spawners while doing our thing. So, like, I could have Isabel fall back and freeze the building, and then this guy will unfreeze her, which is nice. And then... I'm pretty sure that the acid launcher still kills stuff that's frozen. Just trying to figure out how I want to do this. I probably don't want to just kill everybody. We do want to clear the mountains, right? I wish this was viable. Alright, I'm just going to do this. Turns out we didn't really need that building frozen. We'll take this shot. And this at least allows for a spawn block. Although we can't do anything meaningful with the freeze here. I guess this was the worst possible freeze because it denied us a good freeze for the Zoltan. But also, I suspect it doesn't matter, and we're actually going to get both of our reputation here. It's kind of rough that it started us with the only 2 missions that were available were ones where we weren't going to be able to get any of the objectives done. But we seem to have recovered a little bit. Well, I kind of want to do this. I think it would be very silly not to. Right? That's a ton of XP. We could use that. Okay, so you block here. We'll just repair. It doesn't really matter where we block. Yeah, the Zoltan pilot is ridiculously powerful. Seems maybe a little too good. But they do not have any interest in taking it easy on us with the spawns. Let's do one of these. That seems like a no-brainer. Yeah, I mean, it's a strategy. I think we're still going to be okay. I'm really eager to get a couple of, like, weapons, a couple of secondary modules onto this squad. Do that. Let's move you out of the way, and let's get a little bit of XP before we leave. Yeah, 2 stars is... it's fine. We're working on it. Defend both power plants, end battle with less than 4 mech damage. I think that's pretty likely to work. But we gotta focus on stars here. I need as many stars as I can get. I guess there only 1-star missions are left. This should be very doable. I would think. Oh yeah, okay, pods. Pods are very important. Please do recover that pod. Ah, that's very inconvenient. See, why couldn't this spawn have been, like, here? Why's everything gotta be so difficult? So... I mean, we can just freeze all of the not actually dangerous enemies here, but unfortunately, we cannot follow that up by freezing all the non-dangerous enemies next turn as well, since most of us will be frozen. Zoltan's gonna just have to, you know, do some pretty good work here. Or the enemies will break us out of the ice. That's also possible. Alright, well, it's hard to complain about what they've done for us this turn, huh? You can repair yourself out of the ice. I don't think it's a good idea for you to do that. We are certainly going to end with less than 4 mech damage. Oh, I was already on a spawn. Okay, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. We get 1 Vec, we freeze him. Problem solved. Or, like, this works too. I can just end the turn. That's fine. Safety freeze. It's like free air conditioning. Can't complain about that. So there's going to be some missions. It should be possible for us to get pretty close to Perfect Islands. And once we pick up, like, 1 weapon so that we have the ability to actually do some damage to the leaders, then I think we'll be golden. I don't think I even care enough to install this core yet. I think we're just going to hold it. So I won't get any stars here. Okay, we can get a star here, though. This run poses some unique challenges. I suppose that was going to be the case with any silly gimmick run we went for. You tell him, Mafan. Come on. Whoa. Wait a minute, where'd that guy come from? That was unusual. They love to be right next to the spawners. Well, so we could, like, do this. Right, absorb that attack and freeze. He can do this. You know what? Honestly, just in place. I would love to get closer to the spawners, but unfortunately the 1 square dead space in the range means we can't really do that. Oh, hey, we can actually allow an enemy to cause damage to another enemy here. Are we getting, like... I've never seen this thing where they spawn out of the acid pools. Is the game engaging, like, the cheese detection or something? It's like, hey, I have detected that you are doing a dumb strategy and you must be punished. Alright, please don't do that. Move you out of the way here so that that guy will break our other mech out of the ice. And hey, check that out. We get to go into the final turn here, or the final spawning turn with all 3 of our mechs available. And only 2 Vec that we actually have to worry about. Although, maybe another one will... Yep. I feel like I'm being punished, right? Okay, problem solved. You know what? Let's freeze this guy too, though. We are almost able to end the map with every unit frozen. Unfortunately, the Zoltan, he doesn't really go in for that sort of thing. But look at this. Think of all the science this timeline will be able to conduct on these frozen Vex specimens. What we're doing here is greater than just saving lives. So we're going to end the island with 5 stars. That's not great. Unless some, like, really bizarre stuff happens here and we can actually destroy the Hornet Leader, I suspect we're ending the island with 5 stars. And we didn't even get anything out of our time pods, so we can't sell it, which means we can't get to being able to buy... we can't get to being able to buy 2 reactors. So we're going to only have 2 reactors with which to go into the next island. It's rough. This is a rough situation. You're not immune to freeze or anything, right? Okay. So, how do I want to do this? Well, unfortunately, we aren't really given a lot of options here. Not a lot of fancy plays available. I guess we can do this. That can be how we freeze that guy. You know, I should have frozen... Oh, well, this guy couldn't get onto a spawner anyway. I was going to say, I could have frozen this dude with the shield guy and then had this guy run over here and block the spawn. But that's not actually true. Well, we're definitely just repairing you. And I think I just fire here. Just absorb the shot. And I would rather not have the Alpha Scorpion out, but also I'm a little worried about the fact that we're going to have 5 active enemies next turn. Well, 4. Yeah, I think this is probably right. So yeah, we have 4 active enemies and only 3 of us. It could be bad. Oh, never mind. One of them's not a real enemy. And there's no spawners up, so if we just freeze everything right now, we win. Yeah, it's a little gimmicky. Apparently there are only going to be so many Vec per island, so we'll just freeze all of them. It was a perfect victory. Thank you for noticing. You know, except for this. Monster's Vec survived, and it'll likely strike again. No, never. Just, you know, don't turn the heat on. Everything will be fine. So what are we offered? Oh, that's interesting. I don't think we've seen that weapon before. So we're definitely going to take a reactor core. And then it's like... A dangerous projectile that damages everything it touches. It does 1 self-damage, 2 damage to the actual hit tile, and then 1 damage to everything before that. That's a really interesting weapon. We're definitely not going to grab Vice Fist. Honestly, though, I like the Smoke Mortar a lot. It does not give us any damage, but it does give us the ability to move enemies around, which is something that we are currently lacking. So we could take Smoke Mortar and, I guess, another Grid Defense, which we hope to never have to use. This does 1 self-damage. We could put it on the Zoltan. Yeah, it is kind of interesting, isn't it? Alright, I'm gonna take it. I don't know that it'll actually be that useful. But worst case scenario, we end up selling it for one star later. Alright, so let's power that thing on. And then, do I just install both of the cores here and go to +1 damage each? Yeah, you know what, let's try it. Increases the self-damage, but he's not going to take the self-damage, so whatever. And you know what, that went really quickly. Let's just do another island. Let's go to Archive Inc. So we can get those mines. I suppose, actually, Pinnacle should be pretty easy to do. The thing is, I think this might be a 2-island victory. I think we might just go right for it. So, defend the robots, protect their lab. We can definitely do this. This is, like, right in our strong suit. Hopefully we can perfect island here, because I could use the resources, probably. So the impact space of the Raining Death will do 1 damage. Or we'll do 3 damage, rather. I wish I still had 1 more point of movement here, and then, like, freeze the robot and then do Raining Death to this space would be actually really cool. So now that I can kill stuff, like, how does this change things? What do we need to worry about this turn? Kind of everything, right? You have to get frozen. One of you two has to get frozen. You have to get frozen and you have to get frozen. I guess we're taking a power damage. They definitely can't afford to lose any of the other stuff. And unfortunately, we cannot block a spawn while doing any of this. I guess I could block this spawn by freezing this thing instead of the Firefly. It's obviously better to freeze the Firefly, but preventing something else from showing up is just as good, I guess. Yeah. So, like, I could just kill this guy, too. It doesn't have to be freezing him. Okay, so if I, like... If I do this, I freeze you. That allows you to go here and freeze this. And then... do I just kill this guy? The thing is, the number of spawns that you get is based on the number of enemies that you have active. It seemed like freezing enemies was not reducing the number of spawns we were getting relative to killing them, because we were getting 3 or 4 spawns on a lot of turns. Well, 3 mostly. But, like, also leveling up is good. I'm gonna do this. We're gonna actually do a little bit of damage here. So we get one of our other robots back. I'm sure we'll get a we'll get another power somewhere. Okay, this is pretty easy. So he'll break the thing. Yeah, all we do is freeze you. Freeze you. I'm going to take 1 damage this way, but I get to block the spawn still. I guess, actually, moving to here, doing this shot, yeah, that's a smallish mistake. It doesn't make a big difference. It's just 1 damage. But it's 1 damage I didn't have to take. I do not think it is a big enough mistake to warrant the use of the reset. Let's hold the reset for if I screw up a little worse. Okay, Blast Scion is not a problem. I noticed that the enemies feel like they're being a lot smarter than usual in terms of not committing immediate suicide on the frost mines. Alright, so we can keep blocking this spawn while frozen. Do that, and then I have very little to do, but I can just, like, make sure that the robotics lab is not an issue. It's going to take some guys a couple of days with some chisels to get it back, you know, out of the ice into working shape, but on the whole, this is pretty good. And unfortunately, I'm not in a position where I can kill this dude. So no more XP for us. We can certainly just freeze him. Yes, yes, Anna, very good. We all heard your funny joke. Come on, something more than a core. Okay. That's not something we will probably be making use of, but we can at least sell it for reputation. So we have to do the silicate planes no matter what. Yeah, I guess we may as well just get it out of the way. Not a lot to think about in terms of placement here. These enemies are not easy to manipulate. I guess I should have known. We do have 2 enemies here actually who prefer 2 adjacent targets. That is a thing I should have considered. I'm gonna kill some stuff probably. So like I could go. Oh, I can't get into this column or this row. I wanted to drop the kill shot on him while also damaging the Blast Scion, but I guess not in the cards. Well, we can get the kill shot. I don't have to worry about this guy. I actually don't have to worry about almost any of this. Yeah, unfortunately, I also actually, like, I can't make any value anywhere. Right, there's nothing for us to do except for this. I did 1 damage, that's something. But, like, the only version of freezing this guy leaves me frozen as well. I can't use this guy's attack to remove the ice that comes from doing anything useful. I don't even really want to freeze the Blast Scion, I don't think. I don't think there's a lot of value in that. So yeah, I guess I just freeze the enemies and wait and see. See, I really like those turns where I can I can fire the ice and get a good freeze off, and then also get some other kind of value out of it. You know, get the ice broken by something cool. But no such luck. So what? I think I just repair both of these guys. Unfortunately, this dude is going to break another Vec out of the ice. But I don't think that I want to do anything crazy here. I think we just do the most obvious plan. This leaves 3 frost mechs with 4 actual enemies, but there's a lot of stuff blocking their shots on the buildings. It's like here, I get to do a cool thing every once in a while, like that. Can you be frozen on a water space? Like, if I do this, are there going to be consequences? I could do... You know what? I think I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to kill this guy. Oh no, that's right. There's a blast scion here. I can't do that. That's crazy. That would be a crazy thing to do. So I guess this guy doesn't get to do anything. I definitely don't want to do 2 damage to the blast scion here. That seems like a poor use of my life. I suppose... Actually, I can just kill this guy, can't I? Because I can do the shot to here. It does enough to lethal him out. And then we can just freeze the leaper. Yeah, that's fine. That's a little bit of XP. We can actually get the Zoltan to level 2, probably. Where he hopefully will not get +3 grid defense. Okay, completely non-threatening enemies. One more XP. We'll get there someday. I guess this does mean that one gets away, which is... Look at that. We're letting them through the cracks. Terrible. Okay. It is totally possible that we could still Perfect Island. The Death from Above weapon is powerful enough that we can kill a Vec leader with it. We're definitely not doing this. Freeze and defend both robots. Okay. That sounds like we might be able to pull it off. Yeah, with four freeze shots on this first turn, I think we probably are going to be able to handle all the enemies. Oh, this is beautiful. I have been more threatened. I have had things happen that were worse. But I just freeze this guy. Then we get to do this. And... This feels unsporting, I guess. Oh, I see how it is. Now there's got to be 4. Well... Good luck, little frost tank. I suppose I could have allowed some enemies to spawn and killed them for the XP. That would maybe have been smart. Okay, so we can't do this, almost certainly. Block Vex spawning, that's possible. Oh, end the battle with less than 4 mech damage. Consider it done. Alright, so this is the one where the enemies just break out of the ice. I don't know, like, what the actual mechanics are, though. Will they continue to just break out of the ice if I refreeze them? Probably not, right? Let's drop this guy. And I guess we just kind of put you in the middle and don't do anything, because I don't want to freeze one of our mechs if I don't have to. Okay, that was cool. You know, I could kill 7 or more Vec in a battle if they just all line up just right. Well, unfortunately, I don't think there's any way I get to kill both of these guys, but I can kill one of them. I can kill the one that's worth all the XP. I think we just refreeze you, right? We are 1 XP off. We got the grid defense. Fantastic. All that very small amount of work for nothing. Probably nothing. Okay, is there anything I want to spend some cores on? I mean, yeah, building immunity totally might be relevant, right? We could also pick up some movement, but I think I'm just gonna... yeah. Make the attack not damage grid buildings, which might help us get a kill or two. And we have to actually try to get the boss dead this time. I think we can probably do it, though. I might end up equipping that railgun after all. We'll see how things work out. Okay, so let's see here. I can shoot you for 3. Yeah, like the ice mech moves to here to freeze this guy. It's a shame that I can't stand here while freezing him. Alright, I must remember the presence of the Blast Scion. It is potentially dangerous. Although not actually terribly dangerous in this situation. How does fire interact with a shield? Will I be on fire if I'm in this space? Well, I could probably freeze him. You know what? I'm just gonna let the enemy spawn. Hold on. That's not how you learn things. But also, I'm terrified of losing our Zoltan because he is, like, incredibly powerful. Okay, I am not on fire. However, if I were to attack while I was in it, I would catch on fire, I assume. So we kill you. I imagine if I refroze with the ice mech, then that would put the fire out, but also I kind of want to stop this from happening. So I guess we're just going to let a couple of spawns happen here. Okay, you need to move before I do anything else. Okay. It was nice of him to stop in a spot where his explosion wasn't actually going to be dangerous to anyone. Okay, well, this is maybe the most obvious thing ever. And you... we get to freeze the Scion too, I guess? Not really anything else to do. Alright, that island went a lot better. It turns out even a small amount of firepower really adds up. Okay, well, you're not very good. Oh, wow, that's a really cool weapon. I think I'm going to take this guy, though, because he's +1 reactor. Like, he's already level 2. Not that we really need more reactors, I suppose. Alright, let's see. Smoke pellets, that's cool. Gemini missiles, that's cool. Yeah, we're gonna probably buy some Gemini missiles. So, like, let's unload Isabel. Sorry, Anna's jokes mean that we're keeping her over you. You should have shown a sense of humor. Don't think we are keeping the rail cannon, but, like, I could go smoke pellets and Gemini missiles and 2 reactors. Because the thing is, I really do want the Gemini missiles. Yeah. Okay. Let's figure this out. Okay, I was gonna say, didn't we have more stuff than this? But there are 2 pages. I so rarely have a bunch of items sitting in my inventory. Alright, so we'll put this on you because you have the extra reactor, so now we have that. And then we have 1 more reactor left. I guess we're probably not going to use either of these things then. Here, we'll do that. Yeah, okay. I think this is a reasonable loadout. That means we're not going to equip this, so I'll just buy a grid defense. And then, you know what? Honestly, we're not going to get that much more powerful. We may as well go for this. We are at a local maximum here. A local relative... you know what I mean. Alright, so I'm hoping that this will bait the Scorpion into attacking 2 of our guys rather than stopping on some buildings. Although that building dropping there means he can no longer path to this space. That hurt my brilliant plan. Okay. Who was it that had the smoke pellets? Not you. That really sucks. We need this guy to get over here. Okay, so we're taking some power damage here. No 2 ways about that. How do I want to do it? What is the best way to do it? So we got to get rid of this dude. He's a problem. I can have the ice mech. I was about to say I can have the ice mech. Stand here, freeze this. Not freezing this guy sucks. But yeah, like stand here, freeze that. You come down here, freeze him, and then 1, 2, 3. I guess this guy ends up like over here, freezing this Alpha Firefly. It's not awesome. It does mean that we only have 2 mechs to work with next turn. But it does really minimize the power damage we take. Well, I could go here and smoke instead. Does it smoke his space as well? It does, okay. If we do this, we have all 3 of our mechs available next turn. And also, we create some helpful attack blocking smoke around the buildings. This is probably better. And we take a hit. Alright, so we gotta find a second to freeze this guy, though. This is a real problem. Okay. Obviously, that's not great. Well, yeah, that really sucks. So I think we're taking a building damage again. Right, because we have to deal with... We have to stop this. We have to unfreeze this guy. Because if he doesn't get unfrozen, he dies. Or if he doesn't get unwebbed, he dies. And then we can... I guess I can freeze everything, but it means that... I can stop all the building damage, but it means that we're maybe in a pretty rough position next turn. like this, which allows me to... Man, if I had one more movement, if I could move to here and do Gemini missiles on these two, that would be fantastic. So you're not actually going to deal damage. You didn't move. So we have to freeze or kill this thing somehow. Once again, one space too short on the movement. If the Zoltan could get to here, it'd be really good. Well, I can put the Zoltan here and fire so that it lands on this guy and kills that thing in the interim. And then we can just freeze this dude. It's not amazing, but it does prevent the unfreeze of this. Yeah, unfortunately it leaves us a little short on mechs for this this coming turn. But also the level's getting a little difficult to traverse. So maybe that will help us. Okay. Okay, that's beautiful. That's absolutely perfect. This guy has to be killed. Or... Wait a minute, is he going to unfreeze all of our guys? I think he is, right? I guess that it doesn't really matter. We can unfreeze everybody this turn manually. So you unfreeze an enemy, you unfreeze an enemy. Neither one of those are things that I actually want to happen. I could just take this shot. That doesn't really do anything, though. It kills this guy, softens this guy up. What I actually need to do is freeze somebody. I need to stop an attack. It's like, just fly over here and freeze you. Yeah, and then I don't repair either of my other mechs because this guy just breaks them out. I'm not actually sure that that's how that's going to work. I guess we're going to find out. And these things both died to the lava, which is an incredible stroke of luck. I think this is going to work the way we want it to. I think his thing is, yeah, it's going to break us all out of the ice. That's actually pretty handy. Now, unfortunately, we do still have to deal with a fair number of enemies. They're going to be... I guess there's just going to be 3 enemies. Which means that, in fact, we're totally fine. He's going to die to fire damage, so he's completely out of the running. And in fact, the enemies are mostly not even interested in buildings. Okay, so we're going down to the bottom in pretty good shape, actually. Oh, I don't have to do anything to you at all. You're just going to die. Uh-oh. I can't actually... I guess I don't care. If this guy had been attacking this building, we might have actually taken a little bit of damage here. You may as well just kill that dude, because screw him. Just dump him in the water. Yeah, alright. Some Vec break free, and then we move on to the next stage. Now here, even more than usual, it's really important that we get some blocks on the first turn down in the second phase, because we really, really need the tentacle squares to stop some of the spawning. We have 6 power to work with. We also have a 24% damage resistance chance, which means we shouldn't count on it, but effectively we probably have 7 power to work with. We can repeatedly freeze the Renfield bomb if it comes down to that. Hate you, Blob Man. I hate you so much. Okay, well, the spawns have been placed so that it's actually only possible to block one of them. Crummy. That's really crummy. Also, the enemies are really good at never lining up in such a way that the Gemini missiles will actually be useful. Very clever play on their part. So you have to get frozen. Probably actually have to get frozen. The ice mech can block a spawn and freeze that guy. Out of curiosity, does this thing... Okay. The Renfield Bomb is not a building, it's a unit. So the building immunity on Raining Death will not save it. I always forget. I know that I know, but I always forget anyway. So you have to be frozen, and you have to be frozen. And you have to be frozen. So we either take some... We're going to take some building damage here, or we're going to not block any spawns. Well, is what it is. I really wish that we could... that the Ice Mech was in a position where he could block this spawn, because we could also then use the Gemini missiles to hit here and push this guy out of the way. There's like a... There's a bunch of great stuff available there that we just definitely cannot do. Well, I don't have to freeze you. I could just smoke, and that's probably the better play, right? For the same reason that it was the better play last time. We get to generate a bunch of helpful smoke around stuff here. We get to keep our mech active. It's actually super dangerous for us to freeze ourselves this turn. In fact, like we actually really should not do that. Hold on. I could use the Gemini missiles this turn. Like here. To shoot this guy down onto the rocks and just kill him so we don't have to worry about him anymore. Because the Hornet Leader is a real pain. And then we use the smoke pellets to disable... I guess it would have to be this thing. And then Ice Mech can come down here and freeze that guy. And that way none of our mechs are frozen on the next turn. It also means that we don't get to make use of the tentacles to eat spawners at all, but I think if we want to keep our buildings safe, I think this is really the only play we have. Our buildings and our mechs, that is. Oh, no, wait, that, yeah, I'll take 1 damage. That's fine, actually. I think this gives us a fairly defensible position around the middle of the field. I guess the fact that I just took a damage is pretty scary, given that this guy is shown up. But I can just use him to break us out of ice every turn. Okay, so like... This guy has to move and freeze this thing so that this guy can get out and contribute in some way and not die to tentacles. Then we have 2 enemies trying to do building damage and also this garbage happening. So one of the enemies gets to do building damage. This one, I guess? I was going to try to use Raining Death to actually kill one of these things and put some damage on that guy so that we can kill him easily next turn. But if I remove my shield, we lose our Zoltan. At least if we can't kill this thing first. So we have to freeze this guy. I can do this. It'll cause Ralph to take 1 damage because his shield will get broken by the his ice, rather. Will get broken by this thing, and then he'll block the spawn, but I'm actually fine with that. You know what? I'm going to accept 2 building damage to freeze this guy so that I can stop getting blob spawns. Alright, so we're gonna have to actually kill this guy at some point to prevent the Renfield bomb from taking too much damage. It might be this coming turn, because we don't actually have that many spawns to worry about. Okay, that was nice of them. It was nice of this guy to do the thing he did there. So we can freeze both of these guys, kill this guy, ignore that guy. Hold on, can I do that? I can't. Unfortunately, Anna has no way to... I guess Anna can just freeze this guy from right where she is. What am I thinking? You know, the Renfield device does only have... I don't think I actually do want to kill this guy. I think I want to let him unfreeze our mechs again. So actually, I'm just gonna freeze this guy. Yeah, Renfield Bomb's tough. It can take a little bit more. It's actually, like, really helpful. This dude has never been less intimidating. Okay, at this point, I'm killing you. Thank you for your service, but we no longer require your assistance. And shoot, I don't know, you get to, like, repair. Okay, that was not that bad, really. Honestly, I thought the squad was going to feel a little bit more powerful than it did, but it still was very, very powerful. Boy, easy for you to say. So I think we're not taking our Zoltan pilot with us back to the screen. All right, we got mech specialist. We should have flight specialist, and I believe that should also be the 10 victories achievement. All right, we're really racking them up, man. So we've got a handful left to go. We still need to do a long run with the random team. We need to do another run with this team where we do three different mechs from the same class. Which, if you have feelings about that, you should leave in the comments below. Yeah. So, like, we can look at that real quick. So this is what it means by class. There's a line here: Prime, Brute, Ranged, and Science. So there's some cool all Prime compositions available, I would imagine. Actually, there's a lot of good mechs in all of these classes. Is an all Science one would be the one I would like to do the least. Mostly a lot of pushing and pulling. But yeah, if you see a lineup that you think is cool, 3 different mechs from the same line, please do leave that in the comments below. But we're not going to do that next. We're going to come back to that. First, we have a handful of achievements to clean up on the other teams. And the big random run, which, yeah, I think we'll save that. We're going to go back and do a little bit of cleanup first. So, Zenith Guard, Blitzkrieg, Flame Behemoths, Hazardous Mechs, Frozen Titans. And again, I mentioned this before, but I am not going to be doing full runs with these guys unless the achievement requires it. We're just going to get the achievement as quickly and as efficiently as we can and then get out. So, anyway, that's going to be it for us for today. We're on the home stretch. I'm very excited about the Secret Squad. Obviously, after we earn them, we'll take them out for a victory lap. I hope that you are all as excited about that as I am. Come back next time. We're going to play a little bit of cleanup, and we'll see you then.